So our next speaker is Piero De Boni. He's Italian and holds a degree in environmental sciences from the University of Milan. He worked as environmental researcher at the Italian Agency of New Technologies, Energy and the Environment. After an experience in the private sector, he joined the European Commission in 2010 as Research Program Officer for Concentrated Solar Power and Solar Heating and Cooling. And he's talking now about the European Union CSP research programs. So just a moment.
Thanks, Christoph. Good morning, everybody. Sorry, the air conditioning is killing me. I'm going to give you a few updates about the research policy and research funding opportunities by the European Union, and those, of course, which are relevant for the CSP field. As many of you already know, in terms of general approach, the European Union has already launched a number of years ago the SET plan, which is the Strategic Energy Technology Plan. The SET plan addresses low carbon technologies, so not only renewable energies, but also nuclear energy and carbon capture and storage. The idea is to, of course, promote market uptake of innovative technologies in this field. And there is an involvement of industrial stakeholders to do this, and member states as well. Industrial initiatives, so-called industrial initiatives, have been launched, and also the European Energy Research Alliance has been launched as well. In a way, there are similarities between the SET plan and the Sunshot initiative of the American DOE, because here as well, even if we don't have specific targets in terms of cost reduction, anyway, the general aim is to achieve all those improvements which are necessary to make these technologies marketable. So what is relevant for the CSP is the Solar European Industrial Initiative, and the decision there was to keep in the same initiative both the photovoltaic sector and the CSP sector. Sometimes these two communities do not get along very well, but we see that anyway it is interesting to have them together because sometimes they provide very different opinions on the same matter. Sometimes they don't really talk to each other, but I would say most of the time it is interesting to have both communities on board. For each of the two fields, a technology roadmap has been drafted, and this is the one for CSP, and along four main lines, which are, of course, cost reduction, improvement of the environmental profile, and increased dispatchability, and then long-term research issues. A first implementation plan, which sets the main research priorities, which are relevant also for the industry, was in place between 2010 and 2012. We are now in the process of drafting the second implementation plan, which will cover 2013 to 2015. This process has been delayed, of course, by the well-known difficulties of CSP in the Spanish market. What has stemmed from the Solar European Industrial Initiative is the so-called Solar ERANET. Solar ERANET is an action which brings together a number of research funding bodies, European research funding bodies, and their main aim is to launch joint calls for research projects. You see there the countries which participate in this action, and there you have also the website where you can find more information about this. The first joint call was launched, and also this tool is for both the photovoltaic and the CSP sector. Three topics were open for the CSP sector. So again, dispatchability, cost reduction, and new heat transfer fluid. Quite surprisingly, no proposals were received for the last topic. The evaluation of the proposal is in progress. There was a first stage with the submission of pre-proposals, and now the full proposals have been submitted. The evaluation should be completed by the end of the year, and the first successful project should start in early next year. Now, a quick update about our main research funding tool, which is the so-called Research and Development Framework Program. The program which is currently running is FP7. And just to give you an idea, in the last 3 years, a total of 35.5 million euros have been committed to support research activities in the field of CSP. You can see here the topics. Some of them, of course, are the usual topics for this field. So we have, again, storage, e-transfer suite. We have one research project ongoing there. Then, I mentioned this already last year, we have given the opportunity also for research to be carried on in the field of solar disk systems, which is a technology in which we still believe, and we have 2 projects running there. Then we have hybridization with other energy sources, and recently launched a project on estimation of direct normal irradiation. So these are research projects. We still have 3 demonstration projects ongoing. These are projects which, anyway, have started already a number of years ago. And these projects are managed by our colleagues at Directorate General for Energy. We have also recently provided support in terms of research infrastructures, and this goes by the name of EU Solaris, and I think many of you are familiar with the EU Solaris. I mentioned this already last year. We launched this new instrument, which is new also for the European Commission, so we are going to see if it is successful. We think it will be. So it's called Integrated Research Program. Basically, we are giving to the research community the opportunity to define themselves their research program and cooperate in terms of staff exchange, in terms of access to research infrastructure, in terms of international cooperation, and then in terms of concrete research activities. The IRP, which was submitted for the CSP field, was the most successful one, the best evaluated proposal, and we are now currently negotiating this grant agreement. The funding from the European Commission will be around 10 million euros, but a very good leverage effect is expected, meaning that the partners in this program will bring other resources from other regional, national, European initiatives, and so the idea is really to create a critical mass of research in the field of CSP. Hopefully this activity will start in early next year, but of course we are trying to be consistent also with the integrated research programs which are being negotiated in other fields, namely wind, energy, photovoltaic, and smart grids. A recent development is the so-called integrated roadmap in the framework of the set plan. So the European Commission issued a communication on energy technologies in May this year, and this communication calls for the drafting of an integrated roadmap. The idea here is to update the technology roadmaps of the set plan and push even further the integration between the different low-carbon energy technologies. Again, in terms of support to research and support to market uptake, to the point that these technologies become marketable. So the main objectives of the integrated roadmap are those which you can see here. So system integration, of course, update of the technology roadmaps. And here, really, the idea is to more and more match basic applied research up to the end of the process, which is market uptake. And then identify clear roles and tasks for the various stakeholders, which are again industry, R&D players, member states. The Solar European Industrial Initiative will be called to give contributions to this exercise, and a coordination group and a working group will work. The first meeting of the coordination, the kickoff meeting of the coordination group was held 2 days ago, on the 17th of September. The objective is to have this integrated roadmap finalized by early next year. And then my the last theme I will present to you is the upcoming new framework program. Many of you, I think, know that the new framework program for research and innovation, this is also the name is new. Its short name is Horizon 2020. So the European Union works with multi-annual financial frameworks which cover a time frame of 7 years. And maybe some of you know that strong discussions were held, especially before the summer, between the European Parliament and the European Council about the budget for the multi-annual financial framework. An agreement was finally reached before the summer. And the multi-annual financial framework, of course, has also an impact on the funding which is available for research, among others, because, of course, then you have, as you see, funding for cohesion policies, funding for education and youth policies, funding for competitive small medium enterprises. What is new with Horizon 2020? Horizon 2020 will, as the name says, again, to bring in the same basket basic applied research and innovation, will also cover the activities which were previously covered by the Intelligent Energy Europe program, which was a program for market uptake of new technologies, and will also take on board the activities of the European Institute of Technologies. The idea is also to, in a way, we are trying to simplify the rules for participation and to increase, of course, the participation from organizations which are located outside Europe. I would like to remind you that, in principle, organizations located in every country of the world can take part in the, can submit proposals for the for our framework program for research. So there are 3 main lines in Horizon 2020: excellent science, and this is basic research; industrial leadership, this is in general promoting innovative industrial processes; and then we have the so-called societal challenges, which have a direct impact for society. And as you can see, one of the challenges is a secure, clean, and efficient energy. The budget, an agreement was reached on the budget for this challenge, and it's around 5.7 billion euros between 2014 and 2020. And this is my last slide. So the program is the first work program of Horizon 2020 was finalized by the Commission last week. It was released to the member states, which will provide their comments by the end of next week. And the idea is to have the first call published by the end of this year. Most probably it will be, the work program will cover already the activities for 2014 and 2015. Another major aspect is the fact that we will move from a prescriptive approach, which we had in the previous work programs, to a more challenge-based approach. So you will see that the work program defines a number of challenges, and then it will be up to the research performers to come up with proposals to address those challenges in the best possible way. Thanks for listening.
Yes, thank you very much, Piero. And again, we have time for a few questions. If you have questions, please come to the microphone and present yourself briefly and ask.
Ja, schön.
So.